Good morning. A warm good morning to all of you. It's so good to be back again doing this work with you. I'm Cynthia Hoven, and this is Eurythmy Online, in which we're doing Eurythmy as a personal practice. Because this is the beginning of a new season after our summer break, I'd like to say just a couple of words of introduction. I have spent my life doing Eurythmy. Since my 20s, at least, I have taught eurythmy to thousands of people. I am a practicing therapeutic eurythmist. I have been a member of the Dornoch Goetheanum stage ensemble. I've taught eurythmy in so many venues, but throughout it all, my wish was always that the availability of eurythmy would be spread far and wide throughout the world. And it was during the time of the COVID quarantines that I decided to begin doing these eurythmy modules online because, excuse me, I had to press a button here. Because I wanted to reach out to as many people as possible, people who are isolated geographically, who can't find a live eurythmy program, or people who've done a bit of eurythmy but can't remember what they've done and want to have some refreshment. And for that purpose, I started these eurythmy online classes, and they've been tremendously exciting. I've also spent my life lecturing on topics of anthroposophy, which enliven and inform my entire eurythmy practice. And so, parallel yet independent from this, I also offer Thursday evening lecture courses on anthroposophy. So I'm very happy to welcome you again. Many of you are here today listening to this, are with me. I have been with me for many seasons already. Some of you are new, and I'd like to give a warm welcome to you. And as a reminder, my intention is that you work with me during the time of the lesson here. And then afterwards, you will receive the recording with a PDF of some instructions. And my intention is that you'll be able to practice this to set up your own eurythmy as a personal practice. My hope is that you'll choose to do eurythmy every day. In reality, you might only choose to do it on the Tuesdays when we're together. My goal is that you'll be able to draw upon these exercises that I'm giving you to be able to work them into your own journey of transformation through eurythmy. And in doing that, you'll learn to turn off the video and bring forth what you have internalized. Dear friends, this is the season of autumn, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. The weather is changing, the energy is changing. And for that, once again, as we've done in previous years, we're dedicating this work to strengthening ourselves as we leave this abundant season of summer and go into the season of autumn, headed into the darker time of the year. So we're calling this one Strengthening, Grounding, and Centering in Service of Michael. Now, I told you I'm going to send you a PDF and a recording afterwards, and I'm only going to send you one PDF for this entire series. And I'd like to show you that on this PDF, I have these exercises listed. So we're going to start with weight and light. We're going to do a new exercise that I've never done with you before, steadfast. I place myself in existence. We'll work on threefold walking and the pentagram. And this is in preparation for something very special that we'll be learning in this series. The A, we're going to do the therapeutic eurythmy A, which is given to strengthen our grounding, to bring the ego more into connection with our etheric body, a very important practice for focus and strength and ability to be present. It also strengthens the iron processes in the blood. So that's one of the important things that we're doing in this series. And we'll also have a Michael verse at the end of the class. Next week, I will also start integrating rod exercises. And so those of you who have your rod, please be sure to have it ready. And I have included in the PDF that I'll be sending out later on today, an instruction, a link to instructions for how to purchase your own rod if you haven't done so yet. So having given you those introductory words, I would love to begin now with you. Please take your space in your room. As always, as we begin our eurythmy practice, we have to consciously make a shift into knowing that we're doing something spiritual with ourselves. So take your place, stand here, and focus on your presence, which in eurythmy we always lay in the heart. And now inwardly you say to yourself, you know, I live between heaven and earth, and I hold the balance in the middle. To be fully functioning in this life, I need to be well grounded and bring my inspiration from spirit light. And this is the origin of this first exercise that we will do, weight and light. Stand straight. Think of the earth beneath your feet. And now step to the right. Notice, especially if you're new, I'm stepping to my right, but it's mirror image to yours. Step to the right and step to the left. And you ground yourself here. I'm going slowly this first time. Take time to really enliven these. Now feel that there's a point above your heart, and from this point above your heart, you send strength into your legs, and you're building a triangle of groundedness. And imagine this triangle to be the color blue. It's a deep color. And feel with this the words, weight bears downwards. Affirm your relationship to gravity. Feet together, and we'll return to that in a moment. But now, in contrast, think of the great expanses of the sun-filled sky around you. And lift your arms also in a perfect triangle, like this. And feel you're not just lifting heavy arms, but they weigh nothing because you're lifting them into light. And the bottom of this triangle is here below the solar plexus, a little different from the blue. And feel this triangle to be yellow. Please don't look up. Keep your gaze directly forwards and feel light streams upwards. A triangle of yellow light above you. Do your best not to hunch your shoulders, but to keep your shoulders down. And release. So we have weight and light. We have blue and yellow. And let's do the triangle below. Weight bears downwards. And now the triangle above. Simultaneously, light streams upwards. Now you're holding two dynamics at once. And rest. This is also why we don't look up, because you would be losing the very important element of grounding. So once again, weight bears downwards. In yellow, light streams upwards. Now we're going to add the last element, which is finding this place in the center where the blue triangle and the yellow overlap. If the top point of the blue triangle is above your heart and the bottom of the yellow triangle is here, then you have a space here, and the space is a diamond, a space where blue and yellow merge. This is green, living green. And so now, to strengthen your feeling of that, take a deep belly breath and feel in the middle, I hold the balance. And release. And release. Now, as always in eurythmy, as you first learn an exercise, you should practice it many times to strengthen these feelings. But once you have it, you actually will do it probably 3 times to start your eurythmy training or practice. Let's do it 3 times right now. We begin with weight bears downward. Without losing your relationship to weight, feel light streams upwards. Now take a deep belly breath and feel this green diamond. In the middle, I hold the balance. And release. And release. This is actually an exercise that predates eurythmy. This is an old Rosicrucian exercise that Rudolf Steiner taught in his lectures, bringing it into our present age. Let's do this again. I am connected to the earth. Weight bears downwards. And on the earth, I bring in all these forces of light. Light streams upwards, citizen of 2 worlds. In the middle, I hold the balance. And release. And release. And one last time. Weight bears downwards. And light streams upward. In the middle, I hold the balance. And release. And release. Standing here now, take a moment to reflect on how you already feel a little different than you did 3 minutes ago. You've touched the light consciously. This is our work with the etheric energy when we do eurythmy. Our next exercise is one that I haven't brought into this practice before with you. And the exercise is one that Rudolf Steiner gave kind of adjacent to eurythmy. And it's used a lot by Waldorf teachers. And it's also something that many Waldorf teachers teach to their students in about 5th grade. And this has these words to it, very good for this season. Steadfast, I place myself in existence. With certainty, I walk the path of life. Love I bear within my being's core. Hope I place in every deed. Trust I lay in all my thinking. These 5 lead me to my goal. These 5 teach to me the meaning of life. Steadfast, certain, love, hope, and trust. And so Rudolf Steiner gave this verse and then showed how to imprint these into the body, feeling these 5 virtues connected to the shape of a 5-pointed star. I think we all know that our body with head, hands, and feet bears the shape of a 5-pointed star. These create this shape with me in preparation for this steadfast exercise. And feel actually what a gift this is that we have this shape. This is the human archetype created as a divine thought of the spiritual world. We walk on the earth. We do deeds of love with our hands. We think with our head. These are 3 different force centers in our body. And in this exercise, we will build the star with the feet first, and then with the arms, and then with the head. And we begin with the left leg. So I will place it to my side. And once again, remember that this is the opposite side optically for you. You do it with your left leg. And then I will step out with my right leg. And the next thing that I'll do is take my left arm and lay it gently here at heart height. And then my right arm. And then put my attention in my head as well. And I feel the 5-pointed star in its perfection. Let's dedicate this to our season of autumn. I am strong and steadfast. And then in the last 2 lines of the poem, we will put our arms together and our feet together and imprint this into our heart. And so now I'll speak us through this exercise. As I place the left foot out, I think inwardly, steadfast, I place myself in existence. I create a grounded, steadfast pillar. And then I feel, with certainty, I walk the paths of life. And now feeling the heart side of the body, love I bear within my heart. And then with the liver side, the will side of the body, hope I place in all my deeds. And now I think towards my head, and I think trust I lay in all my thinking. Now feel the shape that you've imprinted and affirmed. And now as you bring your left arm and leg in, and your right leg and arm in, you feel that that star is still there all around you. It's still there as a form of light, and you feel these 5 lead me to my goal. These 5 teach to me the meaning of life. Now we generally do this one in 3 repetitions, each time doing a few fewer words. So let's try that. I'll show you how. First time you think, steadfast, I place myself in existence. With certainty, I walk the paths of life. Love I bear within my being. Hope I place in every deed. Trust I lay in all my thinking. The star remains. These 5 lead me to my goal. These 5 teach to me the meaning of life. And you feel the star as the imprint of your etheric body. And in doing eurythmy, we teach the physical body to know its etheric archetype. The second time, step to the right or step to the left and feel steadfast, certain, love, hope, trust. These 5, my goal. You feel the shining pentagram and pentagon around you. And now, once again, this time without words, and really. And now notice what we have affirmed here with head as the center of thinking, the heart, the middle system, feeling, breathing, and the legs connected to change to capable of our will, gravity. I've brought this one into this autumn module because it's an excellent one for courage and grounding and strength, which we need to get through the autumn. And I welcome you to use this one as often as you like during the day. This is one of those exercises you can draw upon as you go through the events of your day. It doesn't need to be restricted in your eurythmy time, but I want you to always focus on how you can feel the imprint of the star in your etheric body. And our next step of doing threefold walking builds upon this. And those of you who've been doing eurythmy already are familiar with the eurythmy practice of walking. But once again, let's build this up. In life, we are always carrying these 3 centers, head, rhythmic system, and feet with us. And the feet, if we're healthy people, the feet merrily do their work pretty unconsciously. So we'll begin our practice here. This is a warm up. You won't do this in your personal practice, but just walk forwards. And now walk backwards. And notice how your unconscious self carries your body. Hopefully straight, possibly crooked, possibly bent, possibly pain. Where do you carry your weight? And I know that I and many women, we tend to carry our weight here in the hips. It's the Libra part of the body. Doesn't matter, just do a little self-reflection here. How do you carry your arms and so on? And now ask yourself, how can this be made more noble, more sensitive, more beautiful? And to do this, we want to do justice to our head, to our heart, and to our feet. So the first thing I'd like us to do in walking, developing eurythmy walking, is to imagine that you have a crown of stars on your head. And because you have a crown of stars on your head, you're not going to walk like this. You're going to walk illumined in your head. And at the same time, what is the virtue of the heart? Know that you have gold of the sun in your heart, which is constantly, unconsciously or consciously, but constantly sensing what's happening in your inner life and in the world around you. So if you do that, you'll try to have enough strength not to hide your heart like this, to be to hold it open and with courage and love, to walk with an open heart and light above your head. And then the trick then is how at the same time to be really strong and in control of the unconscious will part of your body. So to develop your rhythmic walking, stand straight, light above, gold in your heart, and now deliberate steps. Let's take 4 steps forward and 4 steps back. I'm still building up, as you can see, but let's add to this, feel the difference between walking forwards into the space that you can see and walking with confidence backwards, because in Eurythmy, we practice knowing that we have light in our backspace, eyes to see behind us, and walk forwards. I'm just doing 4 steps before I disappear from the screen. I'm back. If you've got more space in your private practice time, it's better if you can do 8 steps. And back. Feel your back space. Good. Thank you. And now with each step, we're going to count 3, every single step. We'll slow things down a little bit. And the steps are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we discover that every step has got 3 components. Going backwards now, you lift your foot, you carry it, and you place it. Lift, carry, and place. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. You can please hold your arms as neutrally as you can. I'm using mine to talk to you and say, pay attention to this or this. Keep your arms as neutral as you can. Lift, carry, place. Lift your foot, carry it forwards and place. Lift, carry, place. And our goal is to feel that these 3 aspects of freeing ourselves from the earth, traveling the earth and connecting, freedom and deed and connection, freedom, deed, grounding, that this story is embedded in every single step that we take in the world. These are the archetypes of every deed we do in life. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, standing straight, feeling worthy. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry. And at this speed, as you know, we're moving a bit slowly. Later on, we need to have practice and penetrated this lift, carry, place so much that we do it when we're moving any form in eurythmy, even the very, very fast forms. The eurythmist is always aware in a newly developed skill of what the legs are doing to the earth, even when we're going very, very fast. And now you may have noticed that when I step, I always step with the front of the foot, the ball of the foot. I touch the earth first with that. Lift. So this is a little different from normal street walking because the front of the foot has more sensitivity. And with that, every time I touch the earth, I say hello and thank you for taking my weight. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry. That is the organic way to walk when we go backwards, isn't it? That we touch with the front of the foot first. I'm going to walk on a diagonal. There's no need for you to do it, but it enables you to see me a little better. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place. And I roll the foot off the floor, take it forward and place. And the intention is to make every one of these phases equally long. And at this wonderful slow speed, Every step invites you to take a full breath cycle of inhale and exhale. Let's keep going. And I was delighted in my eurythmy journey when I discovered that I can feel as if I breathe out, not through my nose, but through the ball of my foot, through the arch of my foot. Release everything into the earth, down, and rest. Your friends, many people ask if they can do eurythmy outside, and there's so many reasons why that's difficult to do eurythmy outside, because we lose ourselves in the expanse and we're trying to feel a skin around our own etheric. But this exercise, you are welcome to do outside if you want to. I know some of you have been doing eurythmy with me long enough that you have already learned how to walk with threefold walking. And so I'm going to add something new to the walking. It's a little bit advanced, but you newcomers are also welcome to try this. We're going to add an arm gesture with each step, and I'll give us 4 gestures. 1, so I begin feeling my arms below, and I'll lift them to mid-height with the first full step, lift, carry, place. I'll lift them above my head for the second. I will sink them to my sides with the third, and sink them back to the bottom with my 4th step. And with this, I'm awakening in us a feeling of 4 phases of life: birth, growth, unfolding in maturation, and fading. And I'm bringing this as part of our journey to understand Michael, Michaelmas, and the 4 seasons of the year. So, once again, just in standing, please follow me. Rising forth from winter to spring, from spring to summer, from summer to autumn, from autumn to winter, from winter to spring, from spring to summer, from summer to autumn, from autumn to winter, winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter. And now let's take 1 step for each of these. Winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter. I hope you enjoy that. This is a great way to practice what we do in eurythmy when we have to coordinate things with our heart and soul while we walk steadily with our feet. Winter to spring, spring to joyous summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter. Once again, winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter. And backwards. And of course, the attempt is to feel the difference in energy. Here you're just at midpoint. Here you're really holding light. Your aura looks different. Here, all around you, your aura fades. And here you're feeling the darkness of winter. So you begin to feel not just the mechanics of these movements, but the artistry of working with your etheric body in such a simple but elegant way. I'd like to now do the pentagram as well. We established already the 5-pointed star with the steadfast exercise. But in the pursuit of understanding, grounding, and strengthening and centering, we know that we derive extraordinary certainty by again and again imprinting ourselves into this archetype of the pentagram, the 5-pointed star, the human shape. And since ancient sacred times, this has been deep spiritual knowledge. I'd like to invite you to go with me into an imagination of the 3rd grade classroom when I have done this with children, because the way that I teach to them is very, very fun. My intention is that within a few minutes, you will be able to walk in the geometry of a 5-pointed star, meaning walking diagonally in one direction, backwards diagonally, straight across in the other direction, using the threefold walking that we've just developed, 5 lines to create a star in space. If I say that to the children, they'll get quite confused. They'll say, how, if I'm a star, how do I put the star on the floor? Is our question. And that's why I invite you to go with me. I tell the children, once upon a time, there was a star in the sky. Let's all be stars. So please make yourself into a star. And imagine all your star friends around you. Every human being in your life is a star as well. And the stars had so much fun running and playing, but they always knew that they were stars with a head and arms and feet. Now, one day, one of the stars looked over the edge of the cloud and he said, "Oh, what's down there? There's the earth. I want to go." The other star said, "Be careful, be afraid, you're going to fall." And indeed, that little star fell. And I invite one child to be the star that fell. And very gently, I help the star to lie down, this little child to lie down on the earth, on their back. And they've lost their star. What? His friends come from the sky and they fly down to Earth safely, and they help him discover their star shape again. Now I'm going to pull out my whiteboard here and help you with this for a moment. Let me see. Friends, here you are as a star. From your head to your feet, to your arms, to your feet, and back here. And let's try this first. I want you to, I neglected to do this, to say that when the little stars in the sky practice being stars, they would not just jump into the star, but they knew how to send their energy from point to point in the star. And they would send their energy from their head to their right foot, to their left arm. This is the way I just drew it on the blackboard, on the whiteboard, to your right arm, down to their left foot, and back to their head. And when they did that, they felt complete. I'd like you to get this feeling of completion too. Just to help you, I'm going to turn my back for a minute so that you won't have to compensate for right and left. Imagine your head is the beginning of the star. Send your energy down to your right foot. Because I have my back to you, I move my right foot, and it's the same one that you're moving. And now diagonally from the foot to the arm, left arm. From this left arm, a straight line to your right arm. From your right arm, a diagonally line down to the left foot. And now a diagonal line up to the head. And I like to say to the children, and now shine, or sometimes I say jazz hands. It's kind of silly, but it helps them to feel this brightness. Once again, from the head to the right foot, to the left arm, to the right arm, to the left foot, and back to the head, and shine. All right. Have you got it? Try without me. From your head to your right foot. And now to see the line of light to your left arm. Let it travel through you. Put your left arm out. Now let the line travel from the left hand across your heart to the right arm. And now from your right arm, a diagonal down through your abdomen to your left foot. And now back up again to your head. Include this in your practice, please. And now this little child, this little angel child has fallen to the earth, and his friends are going to help him because he's lost his star and he's just a little crumpled ball on the ground. And so we in the classroom, we help the child to align his little body, put his head at the top, and then put his right foot out to the side, and then the left arm, right arm, and so on, until the child has this feeling of geometry. And then we say this form has been imprinted onto the earth, and now stand up and stand where your head was when you were lying down. And I'm saying this carefully for you listeners to imagine the same thing. Imagine yourself lying on the floor. Get the geometry straight, head, arms, feet, and then stand up at the point of the head. And now behold the shape that your body was lying on the floor. Head, arms, feet. And now better yet, and I can say this to you as adults because you're old enough to consciously see what you're doing, lift that lying shape up to the height of your heart right now. That imagined star is something that you're doing with your mental imaging. Well done. Pick it up and you see where your head, your heart, and your hands are. And now move from where you're standing, first with your imagination, to the right foot over there. And you're going to walk backwards to your left arm, sideways to the right arm, diagonally forward to the left foot, and then back to where you started. Once again, from the head, you'll go to your right foot, to your left arm, to the right arm, to the left foot, and back to the head. Okay. I'm going to now go to this and show you, as a eurythmist, if you have a form, you will turn it like this, so that I'm showing it to the way you, as viewer, are looking at it. You're standing at the head of your star, and you're going to move diagonally forward to your right foot. You see that that's a diagonal right line? diagonally backwards, and you don't turn around, and then diagonally sidewards, diagonally forward, and back to where you landed. So you turn the board upside down to get the proper orientation. And the effect of that, or the gift of that, is that someone watching you, like me, if I could see through the screen and actually see you, I would see you standing at your head, walking towards me. Or if you were in a eurythmy performance on the Goetheanum stage, you would be creating a star by coming from heaven to earth, and then into this middle realm, back to earth, and then walking back to the back of the stage. That's what this is doing. The highest point is in the back of your room. I hope you understood this. So let's try. And once again, I'll begin by turning my back to you. I stand here, my attention is focused in my heart. My imagined arms are there and the feet are there. I go from the head to the right foot, to the left arm, to the right arm, to the left foot, and back to my origin at the head. Am I where I started? Yes. Of course, in eurythmy, we keep our eyes open. We don't close them in blissful absencing. We keep our eyes open, and then I'm always oriented to where the center of my room is. All right, again, diagonally forward to the right. I know where my center line is. Left arm, right arm, left foot, and go back. And I'm right where I started. So this is very curative for you to work on spatial orientation. It's absolutely typical, but not healthy, to, in the beginning, really have problems with your directions, with your spatial orientation. Very few humans carry a healthy symmetry in themselves, especially as adults. And this exercise makes us symmetrical. So let's try again and practice again and again in the weeks ahead. And from the head, a narrow diagonal here, to the arm, a wider diagonal, but I'm not back as far as my head was, straight across. A narrow, remember the feet are narrower than the arms are. And now back to my center. I always know where my midline is. Again, I'm taking 3 steps. You can do more when you practice. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back again. And of course, I'm always doing threefold walking with lift, carry, place for every step. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, lift, carry, place, lift, place. Every step is eurythmically balanced and rest. Now I'm quite aware that I'm adding so many tasks. How can you possibly do eurythmy walking while you're trying to figure out symmetry, et cetera, et cetera? But this is what eurythmy gives us as a gift, that as you go through these thresholds of learning to work your body according to the laws of the etheric, you connect yourself to the archetypes of health. So let's leave the pentagram for now. We'll come back and visit it as a foundation for our next exercise. next week. But I would like to turn now towards this exercise A that strengthens us, strengthens our iron process. It's the ideal exercise for the autumn. And when we enter the realm of eurythmy as therapy, we will focus on the particular gift of each sound. So let's look first of all at the feeling of A. But as a prelude, let's do the vowel that comes before that, ah. So, dear friends, as a first step, let's evoke in ourselves the feeling of summer. Beautiful